Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I thought I'd better fly around and make a video so that people wouldn't wonder what happened to me. I've been working on my old guitar, which is over 30 years old, and I'll tell you the story when I put up the video of how I'm going about working on it. So anyway, it's a fun project, but very time-consuming. And I think I'm going to have a nice guitar by the time I'm finished again. It was new at one time, and as time goes by, if you play them a lot, things wear out. So I'm working on that. Almost finished. So everything is fine. I'm just flying here to let folks know, and then that I'm still around. And then also I'll tell you a couple of stories if I have time. So I want to tell you stories of when I was a school teacher, but I remembered this one from when I was a little kid, and probably early junior high, probably early junior high. And we lived in, I say downtown Seattle. It was about a 15-20-minute walk from where we lived to the center of downtown Seattle. So, but it was a residential area. And my folks had a very nice house, which we only lived in for 5 years because it was so big that it was expensive to heat. And so they finally decided to move. Well, actually, my dad changed job locations. And when they built SeaTac Airport, he worked for United Airlines, and so we had to move out to the south end of Seattle. We didn't have to, but it made traveling to work a lot easier. So anyway, while we were living in town, I had a lot of fun, did a lot of things. But one of the things that I did was I had a paper route, so I got around a little bit. And then also I rode my bike a lot. Well, I don't remember if I was riding my bike or walking on my paper route, but I was going along next to this big, it was like an apartment building, the old-fashioned kind, all brick and one entrance in the front. And so I was walking along, and right in a flower bed, right at the base of the apartment building, there was an owl that had crashed to the ground. And you don't see very many dead birds. I've got a song about that, or a poem about that. But anyway, so you don't see very many dead birds, and so I looked at it, and it looked like it was fine. And I thought, well, I'll do something nice. There's a taxidermy shop, wasn't too far from where we lived, and so I decided I'll just take the dead owl over, and they can stuff it, and put stuffing in it, and taxidermist guys like they do. And then they can put it in their window and somebody will buy it. So I walked in the door and I had this, and I brought it in and I set it up on their counter. And they said, like something like, "What can we do for you, son?" And I said, "Well, I found this owl, and it looks to be okay. If you want to stuff it, then you'll have a stuffed owl that you can sell to somebody or something." I don't remember exactly how I said it or if I said those words. But anyway, so they said, "Okay, well, let me get your phone number." And so they got my phone number, and they said, "Let me get your address." And so I gave them my address, and I thought, okay, and they got that information. And then they thanked me, and then I walked out. And several weeks went by, and my folks either got a letter in the mail or a phone call or something that said the owl is ready and it's going to cost $75. And so my folks were wondering, what's this about? And because they didn't know the guys at the taxidermy shop or anything. And so they asked me if I knew anything about it, and I said, "Yeah, I found a dead owl, and I took it into them and said that they could have it and sell it and make money and stuff," or whatever I said. I don't remember now. Anyway, so then my folks were a little bit irritated at me because they thought that I wanted to get it stuffed. So I don't remember how it was resolved, but they went over and explained to the taxidermy people that they had a son who is not normal. Anyway, so that was the story of the dead owl. And yeah, my poem that I've got is called Where the Birds Go When They Die. I don't know if I've got that one online. I think I do, but anyway. So that's the one story. Now I've got another bunch of stories about when I was teaching electronics, and I think I have told the story about when I had a student who he didn't have a lot of money. The parents were kind of poor, and so they were required to come up with a project, one project every year, every year. So he didn't have a project, and I had been experimenting with with shocking devices. It's real easy to make a shocking device if you've got everything you need. You take a half-inch diameter steel rod, cut it about 3 inches long, and then weld or braze washers on each end of it so you can wind a coil on it. And then you wind a primary coil, which is just a bunch of turns along all along the 2 or 3 inches, and then you keep track of those wires, and then you wind another whole bunch of turns, a whole bunch of rows on top of that. So anyway, I'd been experimenting with that, and I said, well, I'll give you the material if you want to make an electric chair. And so I welded up the rod, and we put everything on a block of wood, and there's a lot more to it than that. But anyway, and then I found an old chair. I think I might have found it at Goodwill or something like that, and brought it in. And then it had arms. It was like a office armchair made out of wood, and so we put brass on each arm. And then we soldered the high voltage wire to the the two wires coming out of the high voltage coil. We soldered those to the brass strips that went along the arms, and then I think we used 2 or 3 batteries. And you use batteries because a battery can't put out enough current to kill anybody. Although it was fun to watch. And of course, we got it made, and then people wanted to try it. And so he got an A on his project because I helped him. And I kept that chair in my schoolroom, and I let my students shock each other. And so anyway, those are a couple of stories that I thought I'd share. I'll be back with a video on my guitar repair coming up soon. Thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.